Music. Music in your content. I'm afraid this is a much more complex discussion than it should be. But let's let's look at why it's important. Have a look at this. Making a podcast, creating some content, need to make some video? Gotcha. It's time to get this show on the road. Okay, before you boo me off the stage, I do have music. So let's go ahead and enable that, and let's play part of that again. Gotcha. It's time to get this show on the road. Well, fortunately, or perhaps unfortunately, despite what some lifestyle vloggers would like you to believe, content creation isn't nearly that exciting most of the time. Alright, so it's considerably more interesting with the music. Now, where did that music come from? And do I have the right to use it? That is the big question when it comes to music, unfortunately. A little history here. Up until the 90s, basically, people who made music for a living and companies that distributed music for a living made lots of money, more or less. Then CDs happened, digital music, and then the internet happened, and the combination of all that meant that music was extremely easy to steal. So that industry nearly collapsed overnight. Nearly. Then streaming systems arose. Spotify, there's some older ones, ancient history doesn't matter. The end result being that music is now easy to track. It's easy to tell who owns it and who doesn't. There are AI programs, basically, that listen to the music on YouTube, and they will give you a copyright strike if you are using music that is not yours to use. So, the big question is, how do we find music that we're allowed to use? In this case, I got it on YouTube itself. If you go to your YouTube studio, you go down to the bottom here, there's an audio library. There is music that you can use for free. So, for example, I might want to filter this by attribution not required. So I don't need to say, on every video that this is used in, I don't need to say where the music came from. These folks, whoever they are just letting us use their music for free. I can also add, let's see, genre. I'm looking for rock and roll for this little motorcycle thing. So we'll apply that. And that changes what I have here. And then to find the one that I did, I went for mood and happy. And then, let's see, you can press play here. Go forward a little. Okay, not quite the feel I was going for. Let's scroll down a bit and we'll try this one. Kind of islandy. So, yeah. Motorbike, ooh. That might work. Okay, so what I ended up on was this one, Feeling. So, to use this, you just download it, but also pay attention here. This is who the artist is, and if you do not filter for attribution not required, so if you need to say who the music came from, you're going to want to double check in here. Let's see, let's get rid of the attribution not required. Just get rid of all of these filters. And let's go to attribution required, and we'll have a look here. License type. So if you go to license type, it will tell you how this song and this artist want to be attributed when you post a video with this song in it. That attribution is your kind of insurance against getting a copyright strike on your channel. Now, if you get 3 copyright strikes on your channel, depending on the nature of the copyright strike, YouTube can delete your channel. So be careful with this. You may guess that there's a lot of people that are using this music, and you might be interested in some other resources. And there are other resources for free music. Now, if you search for free music on the internet, free music for content creators, what you're going to get is a billion of these royalty-free music sites. And what royalty-free music is that you don't have to pay each time that song is played on your channel. Each time. Musicians get paid for each play of a song on Spotify, for example. So, and let's say the same on YouTube. If you're using copywritten material that you have the right to use, you still might owe royalties to the artist for using that music. It gets complicated. Royalty-free music is music that avoids that complication, but you probably still have to pay to use the music. You have to pay once, maybe, or pay for a subscription to a service. I actually have a service over the years with a couple of different companies that allow you to download stock music, but you have to pay them in order to do that. Then you get the royalty-free music. Without the subscription, you don't get the music. So here's a couple of other sites that will give you free, not just royalty-free, but free to you. You don't have to pay for it. Kind of an older site, or an older service. There's a streamer named Harris Heller who identified this problem a while back, and he created something called Streambeats. Streambeats.com, not streambeats.net, or any other version of Streambeats. Those are actually all parasites trying to make money off of this, whereas Harris just makes money if you're like playing this on Spotify while you're streaming a game, for example. That's where they make their money off of this. But you can still go to the site, download the track file that'll take you to a Google Drive, and you can sort through here and find something that you like. There's a lot. And it might not suit your tastes at all. But if you're not that picky, or if you go through it and you spend some time and find stuff that you do like, then you've got music that will not be a copyright strike, and you don't have to pay to use it. Now, download this licensed PDF and keep it. That licensed PDF is going to be your armor, so to speak, against a copyright strike later. Now, there's another site I recently heard about. I've tried them out, and it's creatormix.com. Again, there's not a whole lot of music for free here, but it's free to use. You don't have to pay them anything. You create an account, and you can download whatever music you want. And I believe there's an attribution. Let's see. We'll go into Stomp. For example, here's a so there's a copyright, and this tells you how that song wants to be attributed. So you copy that and you paste it into the description on YouTube or Twitch or whatnot. So let's be clear. It takes a lot of time for somebody to become a recording musician capable of producing music that people are going to want to listen to, even as background music for a video. So I understand why the music companies and individual artists are kind of stingy about giving rights away to their music. It's their work. It's how they make their living if they can. So I understand. I am a recording musician myself. I've made music for my own video productions. I've made music for other people's video productions. It takes time, so much time, that I frequently buy subscriptions to music sites just so that I don't have to worry about all this copyright stuff, and I can just get a video out to my client as quickly as I can. If you're making money with your video productions, it's worth buying a subscription to one of the stock music services. If you're not making money with your videos, or if you're not overly picky about what kind of music you get, you're not getting the exact right track, these free services, YouTube and, Creator Mix, Harris Heller's, Dreambeats, that kind of thing, knock yourself out. It's a really good resource. Of course, the best thing to do is to make your own music, whether you do it yourself, or if you have friends who are musicians, set up a jam night, get a microphone out and record what's going on, and hopefully you find something that you can use for your music productions. Just make sure that it's not a cover song. To get some friends together and jam, have them just jam on something original, even if it's like just 12-bar blues or something, and then you'll have your own music. You don't have to worry about copyright strikes, nothing. So that's a look at some of the issues around using music in your video productions. In general, if you are making money with your video production, you should be paying for a subscription and getting hassle-free, royalty-free music that's not going to get a content or a DMCA strike. If you're not making money with it, don't spend the money. Use the free tools until they no longer satisfy you, and then you'll have a better idea of what you're looking for. So thanks for coming along, and I hope to see you in the next one.